There we go. That should work better. Yeah. Okay. I actually don't know the practicality of wearing headphones while I do my makeup. Okay. Toss, toss. I have fangs coming in today, so I know I want to take some fun vampire photos later, but I need to do my makeup first. So, notoriously, my makeup always comes out bad when I'm streaming it, so fingers crossed it does not happen this time around, but I also just felt like being a chatty Cathy. Okay, I felt like getting together with the council and talking some shit. So we're gonna do that, just that. Oh, you know what I need to do? I keep thinking about threads. And so I started a new Instagram account. Like, I don't know. I don't know how long it's been that I've had this Instagram account now. It hasn't been very long though. Probably maybe 2 months, 3 months top. And because I started a new Instagram account, I have to start a new Threads account, which is kind of annoying because my Threads account was actually doing kind of well. It was doing a decent amount of well. And I have to start all over again because your account is linked to your Instagram account and you can't unlink your previous Instagram account even if you have the same username. It's like a whole freaking thing. So I have to start a whole new one. And I'm kind of dragging my feet on that because I'm like, God, everybody's already on there now. Like, I feel like I'm joining a party instead of starting the party, which is probably a really silly way to look at that, but I don't want to be late, but also I don't want to be on time either. I am a Virgo, okay? I would have much have rather have been 15 minutes early than on time or late. And that's how I feel right now. So I think I'm going to do nude on top and then like deep red, burgundy on bottom, nude lip. Yeah, nude lip. And then maybe like a pink blush situation. I think that's what I have in mind today. But all of my brushes are very, 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 very dirty. Very dirty. I need to clean them. So we are working against that as well. But I have faith in myself, you know? So I'm going down first with what I would consider a pretty neutral nude base. The palettes I'm using aren't really all that important because I think that you should be able to make do with what you have. But this is the Glam Goth palette, the Dark Renaissance palette. The Dark Renaissance palette from Glam Goth Beauty. I don't know if she's coming back out with this palette or not, but I do love this palette. It's very, very, there's a lot of good neutral tones in there, very deep, pigmented. It's lasted a very long time. I'm very sad that I've hit pan like Picasso here, this shade. I love this shade so much, and I'm so sad that I've hit pan on it because like it is such a good, it's not warm. That's the thing, it's not warm. It's like the perfect nude shade for me, and right now I'm trying to like mix shades in this palette to see if I can get anything remotely as beautiful, and I just can't. Even what I have on my lid right now is still not even scratching the same itch as Picasso does. And I guess I could continue to use Picasso until it's completely dried up, but I just have a fear of the end. I have a fear of, well, when it's gone, what am I going to do? So at least right here, I can pretend that I can still use it even though I'm not using it. Does it make sense fully? No, but I don't think everything always has to make sense all the time. I do think that has to be brighter though. I think it's still too dark. So I am gonna go in with, I'm so sorry, Picasso, but I have to go in with you and a mix of Madonna. Oh, it's killing me. But I do need it to be lighter. So I can really get the contrast that I want here when I do my crease. You'll see what I mean in a second. I love when I can tell like my skincare is going really well, because everything just goes on. Like even my eyeshadow just goes on so smooth. My favorite thing. Oh, this is definitely better than what I originally did, for sure. Okay. Now for my crease. Queen of doing her makeup kind of quick and fast, honestly. That's me. That's my whole MO. I'm not going to go in with a black. I think I'm going to go in with a deep brown. This one's called Chiseled. I used to use this as my contour shade back in the day. I don't so much anymore, but it is a really great shade for that. I'm just taking an angled brush and drawing in this shape that I want my eyelid to be. And really, I can't be too bothered with the area out here because I'm just gonna end up wiping it anyway. So I really just do this so that I know that my colors are properly blended. I'm gonna take a fluffier angled brush. And spread it that way. Oop. I'm gonna build this up, so even if it doesn't have like my desired depth right now, it's fine. It'll get it momentarily. It's really just important that I have the shape that I want. Like I can tell I want that a little bit higher. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of a denser brush so that I know that my color is really going to be picked up here. And reshape that area a little bit. Ooh, like that. That is good. Yeah, I like that shape better. Okay. Back in with my fluffier brush. And I can always go back later and reblend things as need be, because they will need to be. But for now, you know, my angled brush again, because I'm going to go in with an even deeper color. I am going to, yeah, am I going to do it? Yeah, okay. I'm going to go into a black, which anybody that follows me on YouTube knows I have not great opinions about the shade black, but I think I actually just need to use it for this. So I can get depth. Black is fine if you want shadow. I just don't think black is like an actual good color per se. Like if you want like a smoky eye, I think it's very rare that you find a black shadow that's like good for creating a smoky eye. I think you can find it. I just don't think that it's often that you do. And so you're better off just using a dark shade of something. Like honestly, like a dark purple is literally my favorite shade to use for a smoky eye, because it's gonna look black. If you're doing your smoky eye right, it's gonna look black anyway, just by contrast. But I don't think that most people should actually be using black as an actual color for their eyeshadow. I was about to say for anything, but that would be wrong. Use it for lipstick. Use it for eyeliner, mascara. Not so much eyeshadow. But you can use it for contouring. Adding depth to your shades. And it's quite fine if it looks a little clunky right now, because we'll just go back in and blend again. I don't know why I'm doing this one eye at a time. This is very, very silly goofy of me. Ooh, actually, let me just go back and do this real quick on this eye, because if I don't, I'm gonna have less control over things. Oh, hey, how are you doing? Is it afternoon? Yeah, I guess you're right. It is afternoon. It just feels so late all the time because of what is it? Daylight saving, not daylight saving, whatever the heck time period it is. It feels like 10 o'clock at 7 o'clock to me these days. But I hope you're doing well. Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You got me there. I did not mean to fall off the face of the planet here, but if I'm being honest, sometimes I'm like, I don't know what the heck to do. Like, here. I have gone back and forth about the whole Twitch thing, you know? it's fun, but then I'm also like, girl, I don't actually know what to do in this space all the time. Especially since people are trying to get me to shave my eyebrows off. Not shave my eyebrows, trim my nose hairs. They're trying to get me to do humiliation rituals on the stream, and I'm just like not here for it. Wait, a few weeks ago would have been nighttime. I think I'm understanding. I think I'm understanding. I don't know why that sentence sounded so foreign to me. Like now you're in perpetual daytime. So your daytimes just last for days and days and days. Kind of like, is it the Netherlands? Where is it where they only have, like their daytimes last for a really long time and then their nighttimes also last? They have like perpetual nights for a while. Yes, no. If you've seen some of the demands that have happened here, all right, and I always have to tell people, I'm like, babe, I'm in my 30s, all right, I am too old to just be participating in Mr. Beast behavior, okay? I am a little bit too old, a little not indoctrined into the pace that is social media. For as chronically online as I've been, I have not been indoctrinated into this enough to want to do the crazy requests that people will ask for, you know? I'm like, do you understand this is not a Fortnite channel? No slander to the Fortnite community, but they seem like maybe they're into something wild and crazy like that. Maybe. Not realizing that the people online are not, in fact, NPCs, but are actual real human beings. There are actual consequences to when people do things. Uh, but I'm excited because I have, oh, you'll love this. I have chrome fangs coming in today, and I'm so excited. So I'm going to do my makeup, and then I'm going to take cute pictures. And then I don't know if you follow me there now, but I have a new Instagram account. It's actually the same username that my old one was at Anjali Simone, but I had to do like a whole transition and all of that over to this new account. And so I finally own my URL again. And yeah, I'm going to post them on there, but I am so excited. I'm so excited. I had the natural colored fangs for a second, but I think it's time. I think it's time to do something a little fun, you know? Oh, really? I think we need more critiques on it. I I want to be careful because I understand that people enjoy that kind of content. I just think that you can tell when somebody enjoys that kind of content, and it has an influence on the society, the people that enjoy that kind of content, usually young people. And I don't want to sound like a boomer when I say stuff like that, but but it is true. You know, whether we're talking about attention spans here or anything of that sort, it does have an effect on you and the way that you treat people online. I talk about that a lot actually on a TikTok about, well, yeah, recently I've been talking about it a lot. Like how I think people forget that a lot of people online are like not influencers. They're just like people that happen to post something online thinking that maybe it's almost giving Facebook. Like people will post things on TikTok thinking that maybe only their friends will see it, or maybe they're just tossing it out into the void like Twitter used to be. And then for some reason, something random will just get picked up by the algorithm because TikTok really is so randomized a lot of the time. So something, so normal people every day, the commoner people will just randomly end up going viral and then being subjected to just like the most rude out of pocket statement, and people will be like, "Will you put it online?" So we're entitled to say whatever. And I'm like, sure, freedom of speech, but also understand that there are consequences for your freedom of speech. You can get blocked. You know, you can get called mean because do you need to voice every opinion you have about everything? Like, people don't treat people online like people anymore. They treat them like we're all entertainers. You're automatically an entertainer because you put yourself online. When I just don't think that's a fact. Actually would argue most people don't put themselves online thinking that they're entertainers when they post themselves. They just are just posting. They're just putting something out into the ether. And then sometimes along the way, you start to get like a mind shift, or you're like, well, maybe I can make a career out of this. But I think most people are just actually just posting, just to post, and maybe connect with their intimate circle of people. But the Mr. Beastification of things has made it so that we're all treating people, actual legitimate people, like they're NPCs, like they're not real, like they're characters on a screen, when that's like not the reality. We're all real people. We all have a full range of emotions and feelings. And yeah. I have a lot of critiques about stuff like that. A lot of feelings, you know? Because it just gives people the permission to be mean. And I don't like mean. I don't like mean. I do not like mean. Not that most people, I'm sure there's not very many people out there that are like, I love mean. I love it. But I don't like mean. Really don't like it. And I realize that people are meaner because they don't realize that what humanity is. They completely forgot that we're just like people, you know? And we're not just things that you can just criticize day in and out. And that's my rant. I'm sure I'll get more, but that's my rant so far of the day. That is what I have to say about that. Ooh. You know, I was talking about it earlier, and I always have a hard time doing my makeup on stream. Better than usual so far. Still not great. I think there's an inherent pressure, though. I feel like there's like, whether anybody's watching me or not, because to be honest, I also decided I'm just like not looking at the numbers because I'm not doing that. Oh, I gotta figure out how to get the what is it? Emoticons or whatever to pop up in the thing, but yeah. And I just don't think people understand that people aren't content. Like, I, I, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It makes me sad and nervous when I see people that are just, people's general sentiment is, well, you put it online, so now we get to do whatever we want with it. And the thing is, you don't get to do whatever you want with it because it's not it's a person that's doing something. Um, these are about people. I saw something about, I saw a video of a woman, and she was trying on dresses for like a military ball or something for her husband. And she was like, yeah, these are my two options, which of these two options should I wear? And her comments were flooded with people telling her, you shouldn't wear any of them, and you should, in fact, go out and buy a completely different dress in a different style and also consider shapewear. And I was like, you guys are mean. And some of the comments are like people trying to justify it by being like, well, we're just trying to help. Or she asked for our opinion. I was like, she asked for you to help her decide which of the two dresses she has, which one is the best dress. She gave you a multiple choice test. She didn't ask you to critique her body. She didn't ask you to tell her to go spend more money or anything. And some of the people were like, well, you got to get tough skin or whatever if you're going to be online and whatnot. But like, she's not she's not trying to be online, and I don't think you should have to have tough skin to be on the internet. Maybe that's a weird opinion to have, but I don't think you should have to have tough skin. I think that people should just learn to be nice. And also, what if those are the only two dresses that she could afford? What if she bought those two dresses, or maybe realistically, those dresses probably came out of her closet because that's what she had. and she was picking from those two dresses, and maybe she didn't have time to go out and buy a new dress. Maybe she didn't have the money to go out and buy a new dress. Imagine a bunch of people, imagine even 5 comments, all right? Let's not even talk about the fact that there's probably 30, 40 comments. Imagine 5 comments telling you that you need to put on shapewear because your tummy is too jiggly. Like, that's that is obscene. That is crazy. That is crazy. Why would you think that that's okay to do? And like, people act like she should just get tough skin. She probably realistically only thought that, like, because she probably only had like what, 50 to 100, 200, 300 followers. I don't know how much is a lot on TikTok and which is considered a little, but she probably didn't have that many followers. She probably just thought maybe a couple cutesy little friends, her close friends, would see it and would be like, yes, I love this dress. Or maybe she thought a couple of friendly strangers might even see it. Or maybe she thought no one would see it. And that she's just posting into the ether. And because sometimes I'll post things online, and sometimes I'll post things. Knowing that things can go viral, I will sometimes post things online and be like, which one should I choose, A or B? And I do it so that there's a part of me that's like hoping that everybody will pick one or the other. And whatever I realize is the one that I'm hoping people will pick, I'll usually make my decision before people even actually make their decision. Like earlier today, I asked if I should put bangs in my hair. And once I posted it, I thought about it. And then I was like, wait, I don't want bangs. I hate hair in my face. That would be so dumb. And so people are still commenting and saying bangs or not, but I've already made my choice. I don't ever really let the internet make my decisions about anything. I'm trying to think how often I do that. I really don't do it very often. And it's not because I'm trying to be deceptive or anything, or even really trying to fish for content ideas. It's more or less like it helps me to make a decision. Kind of like when you're flipping a coin and you're like, oh, wait, but I actually hope it lands on tails, you know? You don't, it's easier to make a choice, or it's easier to know what you want when you put it out there. I hope I'm making sense. So like, that also could have been her intention, was just, I'm just going to put it out there and, oh wait, this is making me realize I actually want this dress over this dress or whatever. Like, there's so many things. The point is, she gave you A and B. Those are the only options she gave you. She didn't say, which of these two dresses, or should I go out and buy a new dress? Which of these two dresses, or how can I improve them? I was just baffled by how willing people were to give unsolicited opinions and to be mean. Like, yes, yes, yes. And that's, sometimes I need that, you know? And I, I don't know. I could not get over how mean the comments were, especially since, so the two dresses, I think the other context of the story is, I think she had like just recently had children or something like that. And these dresses, they were given Jessica Rabbit. And honestly, gave Jessica Rabbit on her, okay? They were very, very beautiful dresses on her. Not an important fact, but they just were beautiful dresses on her. And people were trying to get her to wear an A-line frame dress, which is really kind of the default that people tell people in bigger bodies to wear. They'll be like, oh, you got a bigger body? You should put on a shapeless tent for a dress. And I think that also is kind of important to the story, because why are you telling this woman who just had babies, her husband is very aware that she just had babies, and she wants to have a good night out where she feels good with her husband, and everybody is telling her she needs to cover her body up with a tent or put shapewear on? Like, I just feel like that's mean. And then to back it up with, well, she asked for our opinion. You got to get tough skin if you're going to be on the internet. Like, that's mean. That's mean. I could not imagine birthing babies and then a bunch of people online, because this wasn't a tiny video. It did just so happen to go viral, as every so often things do on TikTok. It's a bunch of people telling her she needs to put on a tent or put on shapewear. And I'm like, do you guys remember that people on the internet are just normal people? They're actually just, and people want to say things like, you know, well, celebrities wear shapewear all the time, or, you know, shapewear is popular. I also don't think people realize what's actually popular and what the internet has told you is popular. Because if you go to, like, here in Arkansas, I can promise you, not a lot of people are wearing shapewear. And I don't say that to be derogatory. I'm just saying, like, in normal podunk towns, people aren't wearing shapewear to the event. That's not. It might be available. It might be like accessible to them. I don't know if accessible is the right word I want to use there, but it might be available to them. But people aren't just wearing like Spanx on the daily. In most normal small towns, medium sized towns, it's a, oh, my mom is buying me stuff for prom. This is considered the big event right before my wedding. So my mom said I'm allowed to wear, these high waisted seamless underwear, which can be considered shapewear. Like, it's a really, really special thing because shapewear does run like 80 to 120 bucks a piece apart. So you got the top, you got the middle, and you got the bottom. No normal person is able to afford to get shapewear like that, to only wear it once every 5-6 months, if even. Like, that's not a thing. And then being that this woman is in a little bit of a bigger body, I don't even really actually think her body was that big, but being in a little bit of a bigger body and then trying to find formal wear. So now you're also telling someone she needs to just go out to the store and like just find a dress. Have you ever tried to shop for a dress as a person in a bigger body? I wonder if these people have ever tried to shop for a dress in just like their normal size body. To find a formal dress in a bigger body is difficult. It is very, very difficult. I have a hard time being 5'10", all right? I couldn't imagine being, my size plus having extra weight on me. Like, I tried to find a bikini a couple years ago, and that was ruined my life. It ruined my self-esteem, all right? Like, I was so mad. I was so mad. And then I was even more mad just stewing in the comments because I was like, this is where we've gotten. People don't realize this is a person and this is not a piece of content. You're not just commenting on a character on a TV show. You're commenting on an actual person. The Mr. Beastification of the internet, all right? And the only reason why I relate it back to him is because he does weird little challenges where he's like, I left a person in a building for 3 weeks and then they get $1 million. And the only reason why you would think something like that is a good idea is if you did not value a human life. That is my true opinion, all right? And yeah, the Mr. Beastification of things, if I'm struck down by fire, though, I mean, we all know why that happened. We all know who did it. That video would go insane now. I got struck by lightning because of Mr. Beast. I had to take a break from that rant because otherwise I would have lost my mind. More than I already lost my mind. I'm actually a little toasty ranting about that. So we're going to turn on our fan. That is supposed to be quiet, okay? I don't know how quiet it's going to be, being that I'm deaf and all that, but, ooh, is that? Okay. But it's supposed to be quieter than the fans I've had in the past. So I'm excited about that. Now I don't have to sit and stew in my own sweat, Disgusting. That's perfect. That is awesome. So I have thought about, because I do want to, that's good. I do want to be online and all that. I've thought about, well, when I thought about this, then all the scandal came out, but I thought about just like taking my Sims and making some like let's play videos, or like I would just come on here and stream my Sims late at night when I'm playing it. Usually I'd start playing Sims around like, I don't know, 7:30, unless I'm going out or something. And I've thought about just playing Sims and then just chatting with people and whatnot, but now there's all this stuff with EA. And I mean, yeah, I guess I am a little bit nervous about being canceled on the internet because that doesn't seem like a great place to be. But also, I'm like, okay, but like, also, it's a good game. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so glad. My whole personality has become Interview with the Vampire. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So glad that you started watching it. I'm so glad that you enjoy it. Oh my gosh. It is so well written. And I can't wait for season 3 to come out because it's going to fill in some of the holes that I have to try to keep my mouth shut about when I see people online speculating about things. And I'm like, you only think this because you've only seen the TV show and you haven't read the book. I'm hoping season 3 will fill in a lot of those holes that I need people to understand to really grasp just how good season 1 and season 2 are. But it is so, so good. And I'm so glad you're in it. We need to get a whole cult going so that it doesn't get canceled. That's what we need. Yes. Okay. So it's getting renamed for season 3, the Vampire Lestat. And I think that's just to mirror the fact that now things are going to be told from his perspective. I don't think that that's a spoiler to say. Obviously, season 1 and season 2, Daniel is interviewing Louise. So, yeah. I'm like thinking, I'm like, I don't think that's a spoiler at all. I think it's just context and that's it. But it is so, so good. And I'm so glad. Maybe that's what I need to talk about more online. It's just, we need to get more people into the mindset of Interview with the Vampire because I will be so sad if it gets canceled. Sam Reed, the guy that plays Lestat, was so perfectly casted for that role. So perfectly casted. And I'm glad that they made Louise black because that was part of the reason why I had a hard time getting through the first book was I was like, I just like cannot deal with a white supremacist man. I can't do it. So I'm glad that they made him black. I'm glad that, there was I don't want to say redemption because let's not get crazy here, but I'm glad that they decided to go in a different direction with it. I'll say that. Um, But gosh, I'm so glad that you're enjoying it. Where are you still in season 1 or season 2? You said you just started it? And one eye is so much darker than the other. You know who else I've recently gotten back into is Dan and Phil, Dip and Pip. And I did not think that I was going to be back into the fandom in 2025, but here I am back in my Dan and Phil era, which is just why? Why? I thought I've evolved, but I have not. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 2 episodes in. All right. All right, man. Oh, buckle in. All right. You're in for the time of your life. Okay. Um, gosh, I have. I wish I could have that kind of self control. But you put a vampire in front of me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna sit there, eyes glued to the screen. Okay. I cannot. I also really enjoy my problem with a lot of vampire stuff is which is I actually recorded a video maybe a couple days ago that I'm working on and editing. It's not a big video or anything, but one of the reasons why I stopped talking about vampire things online is because people would send me the most gore fueled photos, like just absolute. I don't even know if I can say stuff like this on here, but like it was literally like bloodbaths. People would just send me just absolute gore, and it. I love vampire stuff, but I absolutely detest just like seeing violence like that. Just unwarranted. Like, don't send me your nosebleeds. Why are you sending me that? I do not understand. And I really enjoy that this show is obviously it's about vampires. So obviously there's blood in it, but like it's not gory. It's not gross about it. I mean, there's violence, but it's different. It's done in a way that doesn't feel like you're just watching. I think I'm making sense, but yeah, yeah. I cannot. I'm not a big just like blood for the sake of blood person. That's not really who I am. Um, I'm really trying to trust people on the internet to not put me in that same position again. Cause like literally could not open up the request section of my DM without just seeing like random incidences of gore. Why? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you send unsolicited photos of that? I do not understand. I do not get it. Okay? It's rude. Once again, treating people online like they're NPCs, like they're not real. I'm a real person, okay? Do not enjoy stuff like that. You could even ask. You could ask somebody like, "Hey, I got this really cool picture of me with a busted lip. Can I send it to you?" And I'll probably say, no thanks." But I think you could even just ask. But no, no. But it is such a good show. In fact, I might rewatch it again for the probably the 10th time. It's been a couple of times. Oh, hi, puppy. Yeah, yeah. I didn't grow up watching horror films or anything like that. I don't even know if we were allowed to. We weren't allowed to watch a lot of things though because of like magic and stuff like that. Um, so I didn't grow up watching a lot of horror things, and maybe that's why I just. It's not even like it just grosses me out. It's just like I just don't want to see it. I'm literally like just question mark, exclamation point all around my face. Like I'm like, what? Oh, what? Like what? Why? 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 Body horror. I will say I will like if somebody's sticking a needle in an eye, I will. I'm definitely that person. But when it comes to blood, unless it's like camp, like it's like 80s, like Sinners. Sinners was great because there was blood in it, but it all felt very 80s. And I think they did that intentionally. I can handle like an 80s kind of moment because it's just camp at that point. But like an actual, just like, no. No. And then body horror, like I said, is something that makes me like a little queasy, a little like uncomfortable. Not necessarily sick, but a little like I feel like I can feel that happening in my body, and I don't want to feel that happening in my body. So I'm a shield my eyes from that, you know. But I appreciate it. I understand it. I get it. Also, you don't gotta send that unsolicited to women. So you don't gotta do all that. Like there are checks and balances in all of this, right? I think most people can agree with that. What is happening in my my fangs have arrived, but I'm not gonna be able to put them on until after. I'm gonna wait to put them on until after I hop off here, but they are here. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna be walking around with my little silver fangs. Yeah, it's gonna be me. I'm gonna go pink fang. I'm gonna go pink fang, but then some part of me was number one, what if I get sick of pink? And number two, I would be nervous that it would be the wrong shade of pink. And it would look way too close to red, and I don't want red teeth. I don't want red teeth. I saw there were black ones too, and is that not gonna just look like when people put like the black makeup on their teeth to make it look like they don't have a tooth there? That was my other thought. I feel like chrome was the way for me to go. There's a part of me that just wants to bust through all of this makeup so I can just run out and go get them. I don't know if I can now. I did do something with actual lines in it, so. Oh, but that's what I was. I brought up Dan and Phil earlier because I went to their live stream. I watched. I did not go to anything. I was sitting in my bathtub, all right, and I watched their live stream, and seeing all the comments that were like, what is it? Yeah, it's like you guys are the chat. I guess the chat is the right term. Seeing the chat just like go through so freaking fast. I was like, how are they even reading that? How are they keeping up with that? How are they able to pick out which people to respond to and which ones not to? And then they're just sitting there, right? I'm thinking about like, so like, what if I was like gaming or something? Or what if, not me, because if I was gaming, I would not be able to game and chat at the same time. But anybody that's doing that, I already knew that streaming in and of itself, because I am a former cam girl, so I know streaming in and of itself can be difficult. But I'm like, it's absolutely insane watching how quickly things will pop up and disappear on a screen, and you just gotta like grab onto one thing, and then that's it. Everything else just have to flow out into the ether, and you just have to just keep going. Absolutely insane, especially since I feel chronically obliged to respond to everything that everyone is saying, even if I don't necessarily know what to say. I feel like I have to respond to everything, and I'm like, what if this just got so busy I couldn't do that anymore? Like that would be, I I was gobsmacked. Also, they had like 25,000 people viewing them at one time. I was like, this is absolute mayhem. That is absolutely insane. 25,000 people. Can you imagine 25,000 people all getting together and watching you? And then on top of that, they're just sitting there. They're just sitting there on their screen, not even playing a game, not even doing makeup, not even doing anything, just sitting there. 25,000 people logged in to just sit there and watch you sit there and watch them. Absolutely insane. It is so interesting watching internet communities and how they exist and how they thrive in different places, because every community is different, and what requires people to show up and make people show up, they just have to show up and people show up, which is absolutely insane. Sometimes girls have to put on a bikini top, and then a bunch of people will show up and do whatever there. Like, it is absolutely insane how different internet communities work. So fascinating to me. Truly, if I had stayed in school the way that I was supposed to and finished my psych degree, I probably would have just studied the effects of social media on people, honestly. Because I am so fascinated by all of this. This is all so absolute. And now we've been online long enough where there's stuff to actually study. Before, it was still all just so new. There wasn't really, how are we going to know the effects? But now there's enough going on here. And I'm like, that's insane. And I can't even judge, because I was one of those people that sat there and watched them sit there. Like, I keep asking myself, I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I just sit there and watch them sit there? And then on top of that, they were just like, wow, there's so many. That's all they did the whole stream. Let's go, wow, there's so many of you. Oh, wow, we're breaking Patreon. Oh, wow. That's all they said. They answered maybe 3 questions that whole time. Why did I watch that? Because I'm fascinated by them. And why am I fascinated by them? I have no idea. They have really done a good job. And it's all so fascinating. The internet is so fascinating. Truly, I was not meant to be in front of the camera. I was meant to study what's going on behind the camera. Okay? I was meant to see what the heck is going on in all of y'all's psyches that make you behave this way, me included, all right? I'm not even excluded from all this. Except for the bullying. I'm excluded from that. I don't know if there's a time that I've ever actually bullied somebody on the online before. I'm trying to think, but I don't think I've engaged in such behavior. Because why? Why? I still think about when everybody was like, what you put on the internet is forever. And yeah. I mean, as we know, that is true, but that was my fear, was, oh, I can't do whatever I want on the internet because it's all forever, and people are going to see it forever. Trying to decide what to do with my face now. Wait, I need to actually take a break. Not a break, a breather before I put my online eyeliner on, because I do want to take pictures. So I need to make sure that before I solidify this to my face that I'm actually happy with it. Let me not jump the gun too fast. Maybe that's my problem, is adrenaline kicks in when I'm streaming because I'm like nervous. And I'm like also trying to make sure that I'm being kind of entertaining to some degree, that I just skip over things and I forget to check in and go, wait a second, I am actually doing something. Do I like what I'm doing? And actually that little breather there definitely helped. I can tell that this is not as blended in as it needs to be, but I think I'll fix that a little bit later and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Let me do the real act of concentration, my eyeliner. Gotta clip my hair back for this. It's about to get serious here. All right. Whew. Okay. Okay. We got one eye down. Now we just gotta do the other eye. Quick breather. Preparing for war right now. Mm, mm. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. I can handle that. Something is still wet though. Yep. Ooh, I gotta wait for that to dry so I can fix it. Still had wet eyeliner on. Ah, it's in my eye. Yeah, I'm gonna have to wash my face to fix that, but that's fine. Not mad about it though. Not mad about it. Okay. I think I'm going to speed run the rest of my face off the internet just because I'm not gonna lie, my fangs are here, so I'm very, very excited to put these fangs on and take some pictures. I've been waiting, all right? They weren't even supposed to be here until the 20th, okay? And they arrived to me early, 3 days early, all right? Perfect, perfect, no complaint. If you want to see the photos that I'll be taking, and I'll obviously probably take some videos and stuff too, my Instagram, I started a new Instagram, so you're probably not following me on it. It's literally the same, at Anjali Simone. I just, like I said, I started a new Instagram. It was time, it was ready, I was good, I was needed to do it, and I feel much better in this space. So make sure you do that. I think I can, how do I do that? Maybe it's /links. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not that. I don't know how to link things. But yes, if you want to see that, but I'll come back online at some point. And thank you so much for chatting with me and hanging out with me, and talk to you soon.